What is the cost of a bad hire in sales? And I think most people who run a sales organization already have a pretty good idea about what the costs are. There are two sorts of bad hires in my experience. There are the obvious mistakes, and usually these are the least expensive of the two because you'll pick it up pretty much straight away and you can address whatever the mistake was straight away. And then there are the marginal mistakes. The marginal mistakes are the ones that are actually going to cost you huge amounts of money. And these are the ones that are much more difficult to detect. In these instances, and I'm sure most people watching this who run a sales organization have experienced this, you'll be dealing with somebody who did a good interview, somebody who gives the appearance of being somebody who's going to make target, and yet for some reason, some elusive reason, it never really happens. And what makes this sort of person quite difficult from a managerial perspective is that because there will be an experienced person, you have to kind of give them a certain amount of trust and a certain amount of belief that they are gonna make it, even when the months are ticking by and the results aren't coming in. They will be practiced and an expert, in fact, in most cases, at managing and setting and managing your expectations during this exercise. And one of the things that I think that will help you spot this person is their willingness to engage with you in terms of helping them remedy their situation. And what I mean by that is that they will, if they're a good person, they will be open to you perhaps spending time with them on some visits or digging into their process. And to be fair, an experienced and successful salesperson may have to do some reorientation when they move jobs, that the new job they're going to go into may be selling in a slightly different way to their old job. And there is an inevitability that they will have to adapt to the new job. There might be new products, new customers, and so on and so forth. So what made them successful in their last role won't necessarily exactly mirror what could make them successful in the role with you. The way to detect the bad hire in this scenario is probably somebody who's going to shy away from you getting involved in that process of helping them remedy what is not happening, which is the sales. So I think anyone who shies away from you, makes you feel like you're micromanaging them, doesn't want to accept your help and inputs, that's probably a sign that they are unable to adapt to your sale and that they will ultimately probably not make it. So I think if we boil it down to the actual costs involved, there are obviously costs for both the terrible hire and the marginal hire in terms of your time and efforts. If you paid a recruiter a fee, then there's a fee. Then if you paid for some advertising, obviously the advertising. But by far and away, the two biggest costs of a poor hire from a sales perspective are the costs of the person's salary and expenses, and the costs that would have, the lost sales that you would have had you hired a capable salesperson who could actually meet target. And so those are the costs of hiring the wrong person.